All right, good morning slash afternoon slash depending on where you are. Welcome to Powered by Authenticity. This is week 4. I can't believe this is our week 4 check-in with the special 6 weeks shred series that I'm pleased to be going through with Crystal Cruz. Crystal, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Can't believe
So
it. It's week 5. We're going into week 5.
that's right. How did
Us,
it
we're
go?
doing
So yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's wild. I feel like we just had the prep call like before you started the challenge.
Yeah, I know it's crazy that went by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Imagine how
happens.
much we've accomplished so far.
Yes. Yes, I love it. So, yeah, I ran my turkey trot. Really, we started to talk about a little bit, really wasn't feeling 100%, but did it, showed up. I had my niece with me who was visiting from, she's in Huntsville, Alabama now, but she was home for the holiday and she's an athletic trainer. So she's like, come on, Anna, let's go.
Aw, lovely.
Yeah, so that was great to have her there. But yeah, it was first snowfall as well, so got to run in the snow. Um, other than that, I will say I wasn't really feeling so hot after Wednesday night. So I don't know what happened Wednesday night. Woke up, stomach was really just hurting. Wasn't feeling well. Still did the turkey trot, but the rest of the week from a workout perspective, Friday when I woke up, heart rate was a little elevated, blood pressure was a little elevated. So listened to my body and kind of took a couple of down days. So from a workout perspective, was not my best week as a wrap up to it.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so first of all, congratulations. You did complete the turkey trot nonetheless, right?
I did. Yep.
Did you just real quick because we went through the woohoo, the finish. Did we?
Woohoo! Yes,
Woohoo. Okay,
man.
good.
Yes, there's video somewhere of this because I
I
was
want
like, I was sure to woohoo.
I love it.
Yeah, we had a bigger crew there. Like I said, my niece was with me. But also then we had some other family. Well, they're not family by blood, but family by love. We're surprised to see them, and they were there cheering me on as well. So it was a beautiful, beautiful finish line.
Oh, I love that. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, so that's first question. We got that out of the way. That's a good
Yeah.
celebration. And there's a lot to unpack, right? A lot can happen in a week, right? And
Yes.
so, just first question, because there's so much that I want to ask you right now. So let me just, the first question is, did you do anything different, or was this like maybe a cold? Like, what do you think happened on Wednesday? Was it like a
I
stomach
don't.
bug, or I mean, you don't
It
have to
was.
tell all the details, but
Yeah, no, it was definitely my stomach just was so nauseous. It was churning all night. And then even a little bit Thursday, but Friday was the same thing. Woke up and I was just like, oh, it just doesn't feel great. Today was really yesterday was okay. I at least felt a little bit more normal, if you will. But this morning I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel better. My numbers are back down where I would expect them to be. So I really feel like there was something, I'm just not sure what it was, but there was definitely something that happened. I went to sleep feeling okay. But in the middle of the night it was like, oh, not good.
oh gosh, okay.
Yeah.
And you didn't eat anything new or drink anything that you can think of that might have.
The only thing so it was funny because you mentioned sushi when we had the prep discussion, and I did have sushi, but I eat it all the time, and there was nothing new to it. It was the same place, so I can't think it was that. I don't know if it was just maybe part of it too is Wednesday was a relaxed day for me. So did the workout, had a couples facial with my daughter, really had some downtime. So sometimes I wonder if I don't get sick when I actually allow myself to decompress. I've had that happen in the past where if I take a couple of days off, I actually end up getting sick because the stress gets removed.
Hmm, we can do a whole podcast on that. Oh gosh. Okay. So yes. All right. Well, we'll save that for another day. Our post series.
Yeah.
Okay. What's happening?
I'm sorry. I'm going to go on mute because my husband's also on a conference call. So.
Oh, okay. I was like, is someone chiming in? It's all good. Okay. So, all All right, there's so much. Okay, so we didn't have anything new. We did have sushi. Sometimes that you never know. Um, but how was your stress levels last week? How were your stress? Let me make sure I have good.
Well, I would say Monday and Tuesday was pretty stressful because trying to get everything together for the week, trying to make sure I had the groceries ready for what I had to do for Thanksgiving. Just tying up to try to take a couple of days off is actually it high, right? Like, because you're like, did I remember to do everything? And I didn't. I did get an email like on Friday going, hey, you forgot to do this. I'm like, shoot, I did. So it is a lot to try, especially when you work for yourself, to try to make sure that everybody is taken care of before you kind of call it a day, and really try to disconnect. Like Wednesday with my daughter was the one day where I said, we're going into a couple's facial. Phones aren't with us, like nothing's happening. So that those moments that you try to preserve going into those sometimes can be chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times places a lot of pressure on our immune system, because we try to pack so much in, especially before the holidays. I think it's a really important thing for everyone to, like, we just push, go, do all these things to prepare for a trip or prepare for a vacation. And then we arrive completely depleted, or we are
Yeah.
prone to illness or injury, right? And I know I have a private client that's here for 2 weeks. We're doing some VIP weeks for health and wellness, like a reset type of a thing with some of my coursework and some of my therapy work. And he was sharing, I won't share all the details, but he's like, I didn't sleep. I was so like, the night before travel or night before, like that, even one day of not sleeping can impact us, or just grinding and pushing through and getting all the stuff done just before, so that you arrive so you can enjoy life.
Yeah.
You're already depleted,
Yeah.
right? And so it plays a huge role. And so when I think about our heart rate and how we feel, I think last week we covered the 72-hour rule. Like, what do we do
Yep.
72 hours before?
Yep.
Right. So that's why I asked about the stress too. It's not always about what we're ingesting. It's not always about the sleep. It's also what's around us, what's happening in our ecosystem, and what stress levels we're putting our nervous system under. Right. And so when it comes to heart rate, right, if you're feeling like elevated heart rate, and I know this as a runner too, right? There's so many variables that can impact our heart rate.
Yeah.
And I love how intuitive you were with your body and listening to it and slowing down and doing what you need. Because when we don't pay attention to these indicators, the body will scream or it will shut down. And so what I've learned is, as far as heart rate, your nutrition, your stress levels, changes in the weather. We had our first snowfall, right? That all of these things, our nutrition, our hydration or lack thereof, stressors in work, home, like busy, like all of that plays a role in our heart rate.
Yeah.
And so no 2 days are really alike because there's so many variables. And so being intuitive, I just want to give you some flowers and some kudos, because you were really intuitive with the signs. And so although you did not do all of your workouts, quote unquote, to check all the boxes for the week, I would call that a win, because you listened to your body and you did what you needed to do. And in the grand scheme of 6 weeks, you've missed what? 2 workouts total?
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all, like 6 weeks at Math in Public hands. 6 weeks times 6 times 7 is 42.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of daily consistent effort. And you've been crushing it, my friend. So I just share that because I loved how loving and caring and compassionate you are being with yourself. And they're still like, well, I didn't do everything, so I must not have done it right. So I just want to give you some grace, and I'm glad you're feeling better. and we're celebrating a Bills Monday win. You were up late. So
yeah. And I got my workout in Tuesday of last week, because that Tuesday always seems to be. I did not get on exactly live with you. I was about an hour behind, but huge success because that had been the Achilles heel.
Yep, you did it. You did it.
Yeah.
And so did you do Wednesday too?
I did Wednesday. I did not do Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So those were my 3 days this week. I just, like I said, my body, I just wasn't feeling good. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've had to learn too is like when our body's under stress, right? Your 100% might be 20% today. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to give myself 100% of my day today. But if I'm at a degraded state for whatever reason, we have to give ourselves that gift, right? Of being present to like my 100% is 20%. My 100% is 5% today, right? That means no one else gets me.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is all we're going to put in, right? To
It's
make
all
sure
for me.
that's
Yeah.
the challenge, right? Because life doesn't stop. Other people's priorities don't stop. And this is where what I think what you shared is that level of intensity of that go, 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 go. When you stop, your body doesn't know, it's in shock.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so
Yeah.
we could talk about that another episode, but you know, I think the aftercare is important. So tell me about what happened Sunday. So Saturday you started feeling a little bit better.
Yep. Sunday was, feeling better. I was honestly, I just was roaming around the house trying to get it ready for company, right? Like creating food. I like to do my big buffets for the Bills game. So I really just, kind of slept in later, got food ready, got the house ready. Just I moved slowly. I wasn't moving at my normal chaotic pace. I also attended, so my church streams live services, and so I did both services. It was Advent Sunday, so fed my soul with a couple of those wonderful services as I was preparing food, and it was snowing. So if you know me a little bit personally, all of these things, the faith, family, food, football, like all was encompassed within a very short period of time. So I think I fed my soul yesterday more than I pushed my body.
Oh, I love that so much. That's so beautiful. What a gift. Right. And I love how you got, curious of how you need to feed your soul. Right. And if you have to be in the kitchen, can you stream your church live, right? To make sure that you're giving yourself that gift of that presence of that soul food, right? While you're taking care of serving others. And I've seen your spreads and you are incredible. Are you like, do you do this for other people? Do you make boards? Like, I just need to know.
No, I do. I thought about it. Actually, when I lost my job, I have a whole business plan created around charcuterie and cocktails. But I haven't pushed the lever. Maybe retirement. But I do it for family. I do it for friends. I do it for fun. Yeah, it's just
You might be up to something. Y'all, if you are not connected on her socials and you're not following, like you need this woman. Oh, okay. We need to talk about a business plan. And I'm coming to Buffalo for the holidays.
Yes.
I'm going to need to bring something to my brunch. So let's chat.
Okay.
And also, y'all, the retreats, I get people to do this stuff. So we need to chat. We need to chat. I need you in my kitchen.
Maybe I should come to Puerto Rico.
I think that is a great idea. There's no snow. There's just white sand here. So it doesn't suck. But sunshine, the other S words, sunshine, sand, salt. Yeah.
I love it. Love
it. Let's definitely talk about that. My brain is like, you're incredible. So I love how much you pour in and you're taking care of yourself in this season. and really, really powerful. And setting boundaries. I think you shared a little bit about um, having people in your house and how you send them on their way.
That's right.
Well, okay, so
Everybody gets food.
everyone gets food. Okay, this going into the holiday season, right? When you're
Yeah,
hosting, you know, like you just shared, you spent like an entire week trying to prepare to host for how many
I
people? You
do.
pour so much out while you're trying to take care of yourself. You're getting sick. You're jamming so much, like 60 hours of work into 2 days, trying to navigate running a business and a successful podcast. Yes, you might have dropped a couple balls. You might not have checked all the boxes, but like at the end of the day, sometimes you're like, y'all, you don't have to go home, but please get out. Right? So how do you navigate that? Like, how do
Yeah.
you like because being a hostess with the mostest and all the love and care that you give, sometimes there's an end to that, right? Let's just be real. So
Yeah.
what do you think? What are your tips?
I think it's just when you start to get so tired that you just can't, it was funny because my husband was sound asleep on the couch. He had checked out and the puppies had checked
Ah,
out. Everybody was tired, but my thing is I just want everybody to, be happy and welcomed. And for part of that though is also taking care of yourself so that the next week everybody's still on the same thing. So I think it's just recognizing physically when you're like, okay, I think I'm really tired. And like I said, I pack everybody bags and everybody takes food home with them. And I think it's just recognizing when it's probably time to go to the kitchen. And, I think everyone starts to feel it. There's cues from everybody. Sometimes nobody wants to make that move, right? Like, I don't want to get up and leave. I don't want to be rude. She's welcoming us into her home and it's okay. I won't take offense because everybody has that max time. So,
mhm.
I think a lot of us just look around, when everyone's feeling kind of tired and you can see it, then, it's time to go pack the food and make sure everyone gets home safely, especially in
Yeah,
the snow.
I know, right? That's challenging. Thank you for that. I think there's you say about cues. Not everyone gets cues, right?
It's true.
As I teach emotional intelligence and social awareness, not everyone has gets the cues,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
I agree.
you're like, here's your food, time to go, right?
That's
No,
right.
and with love,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so we had a
All
big
right.
win last night. We are over the halftime report. We're
Yep.
finishing up week 4. We're getting into week 5, which is all about relationships.
I'm looking
And
forward to this.
yeah, so lots to learn there. And so if you were to give yourself a score, all things considered, remember
Mm,
100%, what would you think?
4.5. I'll go
4.5
up a
out of
little
5
bit.
or out of 7?
Yeah.
We
Out
said
of
out of 7.
7.
Okay.
Yeah. I just, again, I those first couple of days were so crazy and the stress. I mean, did get the workouts in, but I don't know. I just there was something about the week, and I do think part of it was just not feeling up to snuff and everything. But I'll give it some grace that I listened to my body, and I know my cues now as to when to probably take a step back and allow a little relaxation and kind of work through those. Nutrition wise, actually, I felt. I mean, yeah, we overindulged a little bit on Thanksgiving, but who didn't? So, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love that. And when you think in the grand scheme of things, like, I think we talked a little bit about this of like the in nutrition of the 80 or 90 to 95% rule, right? So if
Yep.
you take each week, right? If you're clean, you're disciplined, you're doing the things, right? As much
Yep.
as you set out for your plan, on Sunday to set yourself up for success for the week. And Thursday is Thanksgiving, and Sunday
Yep.
is charcuterie amazingness, right? You can give yourself that gift as and then you make deals with yourself for the rest of the
Yep.
week. So you're about 80, 90, 95%, right? For the
Yep.
week. Then we take that out to the whole 6 weeks. If you had one week that,
It's not bad.
yeah, yeah, right? But we tend to focus on the negative of what we're not doing, right?
It's easier to, right?
It sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost my light, just died. So hopefully you can still see me. I think you can.
Yeah.
So yeah. So let's give ourselves some grace, like you said, going into week 5. All right. So what's our focus or intention? Like, what do you want to work on this week, and how can I support you?
I think this week is making sure that I get all of the workouts in. So I was just on your live too, your Facebook live, and I'm actually going to go through the 5 elements that you kind of outlined. And the one thing that when you were wrapping up really resonated with me, and I think I want to figure out how to hone in on this a little bit more, is stop sleeping on your dreams. So how is it that some of these blockers the past 5 weeks have gotten in my way, and how does that equate to the work that I'm trying to do? Podcast, all things Emily, all things pivoting in career. So first of all, I love that line. So I feel like I should have a t-shirt made with that.
Chrissy and the Mitts merch store.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go look.
Now, so pretty cool.
Right, cool.
And yoga mats, all things. Yeah.
So I think those would be the big things. I think it's not just my 5 elements of nutrition and workouts, but I think to your point, the relationships, and how does that intertwine with my ability to deliver to myself, such as, am I giving more to my clients than to myself on the typical work day? Is that the right thing, or is the right thing giving more to myself, so in the long run that equates to better delivery for my clients, my future clients? So I think there's some things like that I kind of want to work through this week.
Okay, I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you have a short takeaway or answer what that answer is?
I don't know if I do.
Don't know yet? Okay.
I don't know if I do.
Okay. I'm gonna leave this with you. It's a combination of a combination.
Okay.
And the more we can have a dance and a sweet romance with all the things that fill our cup, the more you're whole to make the whole thing move, right? And the other thing is releasing the expectations of what has to happen during a certain time, right? Because what you share is you're not as far along, and but here we are every single week doing this incredible podcast, and we are so consistent, and you have been so consistent and pouring in and evolving as we go along. So I think we forget some of the things that we're actually doing that are moving the needle, because it's just part of your being. It's part of the doing. And we feel like it has to be this grand, other stuff, when it's like, hey, I'm actually doing some really awesome stuff that is moving the needle. And if we could just be, but I'm happy to help you. I'm excited to hear, because I would say that neither one of us are sleeping on our dreams, because we're living it, and we're doing it, and we're breathing, and we're here, and we're here with Powered by Authenticity, having this vulnerable conversation with no script, sharing some very powerful lessons and blessings and challenges, and trying to navigate and be a better version of us for this week, right? And one day at a time. And I think vulnerability and authenticity is the biggest gift that we can give humanity, to show others what's possible. And for that, you can't see, touch, and feel it. And you never know who you're impacting, right? You've impacted my life. Yep. And everyone who's listening to this right now, I don't know who's listening, who's live, or who's catching this, on a replay, but we never know the ripple effect. But if we just keep being all of you, can't go wrong.
I love that. Well, Thank you. And you've definitely had a positive impact on me as well. And it's just been an amazing, and, to your point, it's tough to put yourself out there, but people need to understand that these are real life things that everybody goes through at some point in their life, and many different times. Like, how many times are you going to go through and iterate for yourself, and where you want to go? And feelings are normal and things are normal, and it's nice to be able to share that, so that if you're out there and you're kind of thinking the same thing, then you're not alone. And that's one big thing that I hope everybody realizes, that if you're feeling it, somebody probably else is too. So talk about it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right.
We're not to do life alone.
I know. I love that. Well, thank you for hopping on again. I can't believe we're so far into this. It's incredible. But I appreciate you being here again this week and sharing. And we'll make sure we put links to your website out on the show notes. And, just these are just such incredible check-ins. And I feel like I walk away just having been given a gift of your time. And I do appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's make it a great week.
All right. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.